Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back for one more video. Today we will be talking about Classroom Daily Light Novel Volume 12. So, I will be talking to you about what will happen after Volume 12. This is just a fun scenario for you guys to use as a reference for your own theories. Okay, so without further ado, let's start with what will happen with Volume 12. I already told you what I thought about it, on my theory on who's definitely going to get expelled. Between the two, I feel like Ryuen is more susceptible to being expelled because of reasons, so I will leave the link in the description below for that particular video if you are interested. Still though, I am worried that there are other characters that will also get expelled rather than the two alone, which is Arisu and Ryuen, right? Between the two, there is definitely one of them that's going to be expelled. But in my theory, I said that they might not get expelled. But yes, that's for that last video. But other than that, I feel like there are also other characters that are very, very highly susceptible to being expelled. One of them is actually Hashimoto. First and foremost, I will tell you all about this right here. I feel like Hashimoto is about to be expelled because she is in confrontation with Sakayanagi. So right now we have two people targeting Sakayanagi, which is Ryuen, definitely because he is the competition that Arisu made a bet on, and Hashimoto. So these two against Sakayanagi would be potentially be the reason why Sakayanagi gets expelled, but I feel like Sakayanagi will have the ability to like counter them both at the same time, because we already have a like problem for Arisu in the last volume, which was volume 11. She had her own development now, and she just made a friend out of Yamamura Miki, but we don't really know what their conversation is currently, right? Because we left them the moment they met up because of Ayanokoji. So as far as I'm concerned, what will happen to Hashimoto is that he will develop a plan, will probably corner Arisu at one point because of his like agreement with Ryuen, but at some point they won't show what Arisu is actually thinking about that, and will like reverse it at the very end, and we will know that Hashimoto is actually the one getting expelled, right? So that scenario is very easy to like predict at some point, but I do feel like that will happen. You know, I want to do a simple edit here, just to put the illustrations here and just speak. But the problem I have with that is, excuse me so far, but the problem here right now is that my channel is being targeted by a company called Comeso GmbH, which just copy strikes smaller channels, especially if they only have a few like chapter pages on your channel. So I'm worried that they will strike me once again because I'm still currently on a copy strike, which sucks. So yes, next would be, and now I told you about Hashimoto, I'll tell you about the one that I'm actually worried the most, because this character is my favorite amongst the girls, and she is Shina Hiyori. First, why am I worried? Because in the last couple of volumes, since volume let's say 9, since volume 9, there has been a lot of communication for Hiyori. First, she talks to Ayanokoji that she wants Ayanokoji and her to graduate together. That's one big flag, okay? But that's only one. Now let's go deeper into her character. She has already mentioned in her side story or special story, I don't know what SS, I forgot what SS means, But yeah, on Hiyori SS, I forgot which actual volume, she mentioned that she wants the days to continue by, and she just wants to continue this happiness that she feels all throughout the school life. And you know, in most tragic anime series, that's a flag. That's another big flag right there. Another thing to point out is there was one scenario that Yuri is like being targeted by none other than Arisu, you know, because in volume, I think it was volume 10, year 2 volume 10, Arisu learned about Yuri's existence, that she is actually very special to Ayanokoji, okay? And there was one moment that Arisu thought that what would happen if Yuri suddenly got expelled. She wonders what would Ayanokoji's feeling be. That is why I am deeply concerned with what currently is happening with Yuri. It's very low-key, but at the same time, it's very worrying if you are reading the novel and she is one of your favorites, okay? So yes, there are more. I probably forgot because it's been a while since I reread the last volumes. So I need to read from volume year 2, volume 1 once again. And hopefully I can get some hints. But yes, those were the important details about Hiyori that I'm worried about, and hopefully she won't get expelled because she is, for me, the best girl and the one who suits Ayanokoji the most because they just click for me at least. Now, next character is which characters are susceptible? Karuizawa, I don't think so because what I feel like what's going to happen with Kei is that she's definitely gonna end up breaking up with Kiyotaka, and they will still have a lot of interactions, I believe, because she's going to be a vital part for Kiyotaka's character development. She's very important. That's it. Next up would be Sato. One thing I noticed is that when characters are like given roles, they are susceptible to being expelled. And one of those right now is Sato because she was given a task by Ayanokoji. The task given to Sato was to be there for Karuizawa or to protect her if she is in trouble. And you know the biggest trouble that Karuizawa will probably face? It's Expulsion. A lot of characters are kinda targeting Karuizawa right now, especially Honami, right? She's targeting her a lot, and we all know she definitely wants Karuizawa to get expelled for a taste of Ayanokoji. But I feel like if that scenario does happen, there is a chance Sato will likely try her best to be the one to save Kei and eventually lead to her getting expelled by not actually wanting to get expelled but leading herself into that scenario to get expelled. Like one example would be like Kei is this all depends on the exam, okay? Like for example, Kei would be needing help at a certain exam, and if she loses, she can get expelled. But if the character if someone saves her, then yeah, she can save. But then a few moments later, Sato gets into the scenario and she's getting expelled, blah blah blah, like that. But yes, we won't be able to construct a scenario as long as we do not know what the exam will entail us, okay? But yes, she's still one of the characters that will probably have a high chance of getting expelled. Still, she is not really one of the main characters. The main characters are definitely Arisu and Ryuen, so yeah, definitely one of them are getting expelled either way. Or maybe a surprise, maybe there's gonna be a surprise where Ichinose is the one who gets expelled. Imagine a scenario where Ichinose gets expelled because of that one thing Ayanokoji mentioned in year 1. If Ichinose breaks down herself, then he will be the one who finishes her off. Remember that it was on volume in year 2 volume 9 as far as at year 1 volume 9 as far as I remember. Still, that's kind of a really off take, but that's still a possibility for now, at least, because we know this is Classroom Delete. You don't know which character could actually just get expelled for some random reason. Like, for example, Takuya Yagami, right? You thought that he would be the next big thing, but he just suddenly get expelled. Now this one, the next one would be a weird one. It's just very random, and I'm just gonna say this for just a huge plot twist possibility, okay? Imagine if the actual character who will get expelled is actually Koenji. Yeah, if Koenji gets expelled, we will suddenly see his a real character. We will see how the almighty Koenji react to this. Now, this possibility is very low, and I don't think he will get expelled because he's definitely the third year opponent for Ayanokoji, right? But just imagine if he gets expelled. The one thing to note that is that the real main enemy of Ayanokoji for year 3, we already know, is Horikita, not Koenji, okay? Imagine if Ayanokoji actually targets Koenji before the end of the year exam and actually manages to expel him. That would be crazy. He still have points as far as I remember, but there's a way to nullify that, and it is on the end of the year exam. Okay? Because in just, was it in the last volume, volume 11, Ayanokoji, Koenji was hinting that he knows Ayanokoji might be thinking of targeting him because he is like a threat to Horikita and to Ayanokoji's plans, right? Since he is very uncontrollable and he has his own plans. I do feel like Ayanokoji, if he wants to, he will find a way to eliminate Koenji, and he will do it very roughly at that. But yes, that's just a random scenario that will not happen at all, but just letting you, or just giving you ideas, okay? Well, this video more or less is just me giving theories on what might possibly happen in the future. So this is what it is. Next up would actually be, I forgot the name. I forgot the name. Ichika. Yeah. Now for Ichika, I already gave my thoughts about that in the last video. But let me further go down or further explain why I think that, because her role is probably going to be complete at this point, nearly complete. Ayanokoji did say in year 2 volume 10 that, or was it, which volume was it? Oh, in the last volume, he said that in the last volume, which is year 2 volume 11, that Ichika's role is still not done, or she still has some uses in the last volume. I don't know if that's the correct translation for it, but more or less that's the same thought. And I thought at first that her role was to be like to fight Torikita, but then I thought about it more. I tried to think about it much better, and I feel like a certain scenario could happen, and it is for her to be used as a way to save both Arisu and Ryuen and stop and cancel their bet, which is to like attack Ryuen. Because one, Ryuen is still one of the people who targeted Takuya, right? So he's still involved, and Nagumo is kind of already safe from Ichika, so we don't need to think about that anymore. And only Ryuen is the problem there. So perhaps a scenario where Ryuen gets targeted, gets beat up to the point that he can't go to the exam and will be given a separate exam for him, so that the bet between Arisu and Ryuen will be like cancelled. Because Ichika is one of the main characters in year 2 at the very least, that's what I think. But yes, let me know. That's my thoughts about, those were my thoughts about year 2 as a whole. All of them are just theories or ideas on why and the possibility of how they get expelled. So let me know about your own theories, why the characters will get expelled and who and what will get expelled. So in the future, I will be doing live streams and will be available for you guys to communicate about Classroom Delete, because I've just checked out and tried a live stream and it actually works. It just has the delay for 20 seconds before your chat actually appears, or before my video actually buffers to you guys. So it's probably a delay, delay reply. Still, I hope you guys had a wonderful day, and hopefully you will be back for more videos. See you soon. Peace out. God bless.